guys, welcome to my channel. This is going to be a look at what the next 72 hours has in store for you. Of course, any information that you may be looking for will be below. And make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell if you do want to see future readings from me. But let's jump in with 3 oracle cards and then we'll jump into like a full-on spread for you guys, like 6 cards or so. All right. So the first 3 oracle cards that we have here, it says, trust your angels, let go of your let go of your expectations of how your dreams will come true. Trust that heaven has a perfect plan. We also have no fear. Fear is a trap of the ego. Allow me to use my sword of light to free you from disquieting feelings holding you back. And we also have the mentor. So with these cards right off the bat, your faith may have been wavering for a second when it came to you being heard from your spiritual team, or you being considered when it comes to certain things that you have been praying for or have been clearly trying to manifest in your life. And there's going to be clear synchronicities or moments or glimpses that show you like your spiritual team hears you and they're there to support you. You just may need to lean into trusting them more. A lot of the lack of trust could cause you to self-sabotage, where it's like, well, I don't know if this manifestation that I want to bring into existence will happen, so I don't even know if I should try. I'm just going to think about it and hope that, you know, at some point this opportunity will align. And I think that trusting your spiritual team and moving with that trust is what you're being encouraged to tap into. I think that's also why have no fear is here. There could be a lot of fear-based decisions that you guys are wanting to be freed from, because on the other side of it could be the things that you actually genuinely want for yourself. I think that also too, some of my Sagittarius, you are meant to be a mentor. Like, you're meant to be a guiding force where you can share your wisdom because of experiences you've been through in life itself, being its teacher for you. You can pass this wisdom on to others, but some of you could be afraid that you won't do well in this position, or who's going to listen to you, right? But walking in this path, you don't need to worry about who's going to hear you, who's going to resonate. Walk in this path and be unapologetic about it. Okay, now let's go deeper. Let me move this out of the way. What does the general energy look like? Oh, okay, we have the Empress. So the general energy for this time frame, the Empress is beautiful. The Empress talks about growth, expansion, outgrowing spaces, motherhood, family, nurturing self, self-care, all of that. So there could be a huge emphasis on all of these subjects. There could be a mother figure that does need your help or your support. Some of you guys could be finding out some important news that you're expecting, or that you're going to be having a child. Some of you are just outgrowing spaces where it's like, I don't resonate with this job anymore, or I don't resonate with this relationship anymore. I think I'm ready to grow. I think I'm ready to expand beyond where I'm at now. There also may be more of a mature route that you're taking to things. There could be someone who's really trying to bait you into like an argument or a disagreement, and in you taking more of the mature route, this saves you from being entangled in this. Now with career and finance, I do have the Strength card. So if you're currently looking for a job, your willpower may be being tested a little bit when it comes to the patience and waiting for things to align. But in you being confident in like certain interviews that you may do, you actually could be closer to actually like closing on a job opportunity. Some of you also, it's the willpower to keep going, to keep applying, to keep showing up, that you may really need to tap into. For my Sagittarius who are already kind of working, your personal like energy and the way that you're taking care of yourself outside of your job is going to determine if you're feeling good enough in terms of performance. Some of you could be kind of questioning like, okay, am I going to get fired, or is my job going to start like cutting my hours, especially if like higher ups have been just kind of picking at everything that you do or micromanaging. And some of you are wondering if you're just going to straight up quit. Now, going into love, what does this time frame look like for my Sagittarius when it comes to love? I have the 9 of Cups. So for my singles, you could be in a space to where you're self-sufficient. Like you're good. You may not necessarily want to date right now because there's other goals that you may be focusing on. For others of my singles who are like still actively dating, you could have a very clear idea of what type of person you want to manifest in your love life, and where you're not really going to cut corners in regards to that. Very clear, I want X, Y, and Z type of dynamic, or I don't want anything at all in terms of, dating. For my Sagittarius who are already in a relationship, you could have specific goals for where you want your relationship to go with your person. You could be just wondering, like, do they want the same thing? Or overall, are you guys both going to get to a place of happiness and contentment with where you guys are taking the relationship? You could also be wondering, like, what is someone else's intentions? Are their intentions pure? Whether you've been dating them for a minute or not. Now, what is the advice for my Sagittarius for the next 72 hours? What is the advice? So the advice is to stop putting effort and energy into situations where people aren't matching it. That's when you'll start to feel depleted. That's when you'll start to feel like you're being taken advantage of, is when you're investing so much effort and energy into someone who's not reciprocating, or into situations that don't reciprocate back to you in terms of and it doesn't even have to be in money. Like, let's say you're doing something. How do I phrase this example? I don't know how to phrase this example, but be mindful of investing your energy into situations that don't pour back into you. Like, if you find yourself investing more, okay, let's use this example. If you find yourself investing more into what other people have going on, and it starts to become like more of an expectation out of you and it doesn't feel enjoyable, that may be a sign that you need to pour into yourself equally as much. What else? Also, this is making sure you're not giving up before you actually genuinely try. There could be some sort of business that you're trying to build, and maybe you haven't all the way tried all the, strategies or ways to push your business further. So not giving up. What's the possible challenge my Sagittarius may run into for the next 72 hours? So impatience, doing things that kind of take away from your personal balance. The Temperance card in reverse talks about extremes. So you could be on extremes at the moment, working way too much, not getting enough personal time or getting any sleep, or more focused on like the tangible aspects of your life, like the material, than your emotional self, or vice versa, more focused on how you feel than the more practical. So the challenge is to make sure that you do have a fair balance, and that you're not being thrown off by focusing on one area in your life and neglecting another. But yeah, impatience. Okay, certain things could just be throwing you off. Now, when it comes to the outcome of this time frame for my Sagittarius, I have the 8 of Swords in reverse. I actually like this card. So with the 8 of Swords in reverse, this is you finally getting out of a state of feeling frustrated and bound to a toxic relationship, a toxic work environment, certain beliefs, all of that. You finally get out of a state of feeling like bound and mentally like prisoner to said situations. You also may be releasing someone else that makes you feel like guilty for you taking care of yourself or you doing things for yourself. Yeah, you also stop wearing the weight of someone else's problems. You could be realizing that a lot of your frustration is not even your own frustration. It could be coming from outside sources. But this is what I see. I hope I did give you insight in regards to the next 72 hours. If you did enjoy, definitely thumbs up the video and subscribe so you never miss a beat. And I will see you soon.